Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad that you could join us today. My name is Arthur Hicken. I am the evangelist at Parasoft. And I just want to quickly go over a few things before we dive into today's session. On behalf of all the speakers and presenters today, we certainly welcome you. We have a lot of interesting, fascinating talks that are coming up, and I'll go over the agenda in just a moment. First, a couple of go-to-webinar tips. We're all doing a lot of conferences these days, but just a reminder, you're all muted, your microphones are off. If you have questions, problems, need some kind of assistance, please use the question box at the lower right of your control panel. We will have a QA session at the end of each talk. So get your questions queued up there and we'll work back and forth with each presenter to get your answers for you. If you have any issues, again, stick them also in that box and one of us will be happy to help you out. And there will be, of course, as always, a link after the sessions so that you can go back and watch the video and catch anything that you missed or share it with your friends. So what's interesting about today's topic on automated software testing and quality is that we are looking at the issues of how confident are you in your software quality. And today we've got several speakers that are real people from real organizations that have had real problems showing how they've become confident in their software quality. Sometimes there's regulations that we have to meet. Sometimes we just have to speed up these days. The alignment of cloud adoption and transition to cloud has been accelerated over the last year, and so there's a lot of things we have to do, and we have to use automation to keep up. So it's interesting to see from these speakers and these talks we have how people are approaching this and how they're succeeding at it, which is fascinating. Now, we know that there are a couple of really big challenges in trying to produce quality software, and one is just complexity. Today's web applications are no longer a simple web server that has a web interface and that's it. They reach out, they talk to other services. They've become as complicated as building a watch. As you look at all the different parts and things like microservices come into play, and an application is really a sum of tens or hundreds of separate components that aren't necessarily even located or even owned or controlled by the same organization. Simultaneously, because of that, we have all these dependencies between pieces. And what happens when there are outages? What happens when your shopping cart can't validate a credit card or can't reach the shipper or can't check the inventory? Or when your bank is unable to check someone's balance, or first responders can't get the data they need. So dealing with outages and the fact that systems are distributed is a really interesting challenge. And of course, we always need to go faster. Everything always needs to be faster. I know we tell our dev, right, like that basic rule of thumb, an unwritten requirement, this release needs to be faster than last release. So we're going to see again today some real answers to how people have addressed these problems while maintaining high levels of quality and availability. So the basic schedule, I'm doing your welcome right now. As I said, in just a moment, we'll have Diego Logaduch from Forrester with our keynote. Again, at the end of that, be a couple of minutes for questions and answers, so write them down as he's speaking. At 10:30, I'm in California, so I apologize, California time, but in 30 minutes from now, we'll have ING Iovio talking about accelerating delivery. In 50 minutes, we have Alaska Airlines. Let me go back to that. Testing the untestable, quite fascinating. We're going to do a 10-minute break. It might be 12, but we'll see as we get to it. But we're going to do a little break at 10 minutes after the hour, give you all time to refresh your coffee, your water, your whiskey, depending on your time zone. And then we'll move to our last three talks, and then Mark Lambert from Parasoft will do a wrap up. And just a reminder that we do have a hashtag you can see at the bottom of the screen here, ASTQ 2020. If you're posting during the session on Twitter or LinkedIn, this gets you into a raffle for an Amazon gift card. So feel free to highlight the most interesting things that you're hearing in these sessions today.